Hunter has been indicted on federal gun charges. It marks the first time a sitting president's son has been indicted on federal gun charges. Hunter has pleaded not guilty to the charges, but was originally planning to plead guilty as part of a deal that would have dismissed gun charges, but that deal fell through in court back in July.
Breaking news: Hunter Biden indicted on 3 felony charges for lying about being on drugs when he bought a gun. I don't know if you have seen this. Very interesting. I'll play some videos so you can see exactly what has been going on. Karine has been rejecting. Nothing as such has ever happened. Hunter Biden faces up to 25 years in prison after being indicted on 3 felony charges for lying about his crack addictions when buying a gun.
All right, Bill Malugin, thank you. Well, it was highly anticipated, and now it has happened. The federal government has just filed an indictment against Hunter Biden on that gun charge. Our justice correspondent David Spunt has got the latest from the DOJ. David?
Hey, John and Sandra, 4 pages here. Hunter Biden, Robert Hunter Biden, indicted by the U.S. attorney, or in this case, special counsel David Weiss, based in Wilmington, Delaware. As you mentioned, we knew this was somewhat going to come because his office said it would happen before September 29th. We have 3 counts in this indictment. This is related to the purchase of that gun. Remember, back in 2018, we've been reporting on it for several years. Hunter Biden made a false statement. This indictment alleges made several false statements about the gun charge or about purchasing a federal firearm. He said that he was not addicted to drugs.
10 years, 5 years, 10 years.
Okay, I'm looking at Jake Gibson, our producer, is reading to me right now. The maximum penalty would be 10 years of imprisonment for count 1, which is a false statement. So let me go ahead and read through this, but just to kind of summarize things here, this is only relating to Hunter Biden making false statements on a federal gun form that he was not addicted to narcotics when he had in his possession in Delaware a gun for just over a week back in 2018. John, Sandra, this is not related to the tax cases involving Hunter Biden or any other potential charges. The special counsel said those charges relating to his taxes or lack thereof paying taxes could be brought in another district outside of Delaware. John, Sandra?
Yes, after trying that this should not happen, I watched a segment where Karine has been defending Hunter like never before.
His son Hunter to the state dinner last night. I'm wondering if you could take us into the thinking and the decision-making of why the president decided to invite
I'm just not going to get into family discussion, personal family discussion. As you know, Hunter is his son. I'm just not going to get into it.
Let me ask you this. If Hunter Biden wasn't the president's son, would he have invited someone who had just reached a plea agreement with federal prosecutors 2 days earlier?
A couple of things. Again, that's his son. He's a family member. It is not uncommon for family members to attend events at the White House. You could look at past presidents. I'm sure you have. So that is not uncommon. As it relates to anything related to Hunter, I'm just not going to respond to it from here.
Can I follow up on that?
Okay. No, I just called in somebody. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Kirby wouldn't answer James's question, though. Are you going to answer the question? I mean, it's not a reasonable question to ask whether the President of the United States was involved, as this message seems to suggest, in some sort of a coercive conversation for business dealings by his son. Is that something, if he wasn't, then maybe you should tell us.
So here's the thing, and I appreciate the question. I believe my colleague at the White House Counsel has answered this question already, has dealt with this, has made it very clear. I just don't have anything to share outside of what my colleagues have shared, and so I would refer you to him and the DOJ. Just not going to comment from here.
Text message
What I can tell you is I know that my colleague has dealt with this. He addressed this at the White House Counsel. I just don't have anything else to share. I just answered the question. I just answered the question.
No, you didn't. Yes or no, was the president involved in the shakedown attempt?
Stephen, I just answered the question. It's not up to you how I answer the question. I just answered the question by telling you my colleagues at the White House Counsel has dealt with this, and
Yes, I believe you've seen this. That is Karine. That is what she has been doing all through. When a question surfaces, she will run away and refer you to someone. That is what has been happening. Sometimes when I look at this lady, I'm speechless. You cannot call yourself a press secretary and be doing all this. It is insane. You are there to respond to people's worries, what the people want to hear, answer the questions, but instead you will refer me to this, that. I will read this article so you can understand deep what is going on. Hunter Biden faces up to 25 years in prison after being indicted on 3 felony charges for lying about his crack addictions when buying a gun. In a sensational development, the first son will have to appear in court after a Delaware grand jury returned 3 charges against him, including 2 counts of false statement on his gun forms and 1 of possessing a firearm while addicted to illicit. In a shattering blow for President Joe Biden, who has stood by his son and is running for re-election in 2024, the move by Special Counsel David Wills is a significant escalation in his investigation into the president's son for gun and tax crime, which is still ongoing. It also comes the same week that Republicans in the House opened a formal impeachment inquiry into President Biden for his alleged connection to Hunter business dealings and is likely to have a long-term impact on his political career. This is concerning. The maximum time in prison will be 25 years total if he is convicted on all of the counts. Although federal sentences are usually less than the maximum, Hunter could also be slapped with a maximum of $250,000 fine and 3 years probation. According to the indictment, Hunter lied about his drug use when he purchased a gun in 2018. The first son purchased a .38 Colt Cobra caliber pistol in Delaware, a state that makes anybody answer a series of questions before they can lay their hands on a weapon. One from the 2018 Application asks if the applicant uses or is addicted to drugs. The bill is clearly checked no. Hunter has admitted that he was addicted to crack at the time of the gun purchase. Video discovered on Hunter's laptop computer show him without dresses and brandishing a handgun in a hotel room in 2018, alleging 5 days after buying the gun. About 2 weeks later, his lover and brother widow William found it unlocked in his truck and threw it in a grocery store trash can. They have been covering this for some time, and I'm glad this is coming out, though a lot of people are still not touched with all this.
So they're going to do whatever they have to do. Jim Jordan, this is what they're going to have to do. This is what you're doing, right? With the laptop, you're going through. You had a lot of time to sort of tell us what was in there. You told us some stuff that we already knew, but nobody got mad at you. We just said keep looking. Do what you have to do.